Tonight, a woman comes forward after learning she's been living for more than 2 years in a rental property she says she didn't know was contaminated by lead. Emma Henderson has the trail of documentation showing how something like this can happen. And Emma, what's being done about it?
Well, Charisse, I have documentation going all the way back to 2013 showing that this home is contaminated with lead. The Toledo Lucas County Health Department confirms the property first showed up on their radar when a previous tenant, a child, tested positive for lead poisoning. We're not naming the landlord because this woman is still searching for a safe place to live.
Just coming up with funds and a plan to try to get out of there and into a safe environment has been my main focus.
This South Toledo tenant came home to a warning posted on her door from the health department reading, "This property contains lead hazards and has been declared unsafe for human occupation." It shocked her, so she called the number on the flyer.
Why did you guys allow him to let me rent this house? She said it's a trust. She said they send out the documents to the landlords and they trust that the landlords will follow the rules.
Records from the health department show the landlord was notified more than 6 years ago that the home was contaminated with lead after a child tested positive for lead poisoning. In the portion of her lease where it says there are lead-based paint hazards, the only explanation is city has inspected.
When they did their inspection, it was vacated, or at least the landlord said that it was vacated. And then when we went out to, just as another inspection, as to go out to look at it, we found out that, yes, there was somebody living there.
WTOL has obtained official letters from the health department saying the landlord couldn't let anyone live there.
If we've posted it and we have orders on it, no, you're not allowed to. And that's kind of why now we have to go to court. We've got to go through the process with the court system to make sure that the landlord then understands that he can't be renting this out.
The health department sent a letter in 2017, a few months before the woman says she signed her lease, saying the issue still hadn't been fixed and the landlord needs to file an extension. The extension was granted and supposed to be up by December of 2017. The woman and her mother moved in November of 2017. A follow-up inspection a month ago, nearly 2 years later, was when they learned of the contamination.
I'm actually very grateful for the inspector for coming out, because if he wouldn't have came out and done the inspection, then I would have never known that I'm living in this house that is poisoning me.
Right now, the city of Toledo has no active lead ordinance. It's something that's been brought up at council, but with a previous ordinance being held up in the court system, city administration wants to wait.
If we could actually stop the problem before we have to get here, we'd be much better off. And that's, again, what the city and the council is trying to work on, is trying to figure out a way to create an ordinance so that we can limit the need for what we're doing here.
Politicians in this city should be alarmed. They should be doing something about this. They live in this city too. They're accountable for living in this city too. Their families, their friends live in this city too. If they don't take this seriously, then they're useless.
This woman has hired an attorney and is trying to find a safe place to move. She's also worrying about finances and her mother's health issues. Toledo City Council has a version of a lead ordinance up for a vote this Tuesday, the 12th. Charisse.
Wow. Thank you, Emma, for that story.